Well, in keeping with our waste not theme, why not create stunning decor with MDF? That's a product that uses hardwood and softwood leftovers. Designer and contractor Brian McCourt demonstrates You're very good at using leftover pieces for projects.
Definitely. We want to reduce our waste and reduce how much we're spending.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. We're always trying to keep more money in the wallet for our viewers. So, I mean, if you could create a stunning paneled wall without spending a ton of money, I think it would be a great thing. And that's exactly what you've done with MDF here.
Adding value to your house.
Yes.
Yes. But what is MDF?
I don't know.
Stands for medium density fiberboard.
Okay.
And basically it's a bunch of sawdust mixed in with resin and it forms this cardboard looking material.
Okay, so it's solid.
It's solid.
But it's way cheaper.
Way cheaper. It's about 30 bucks a sheet for 4-foot by 8-foot sheet.
Okay. All right.
And so what's great about it is it cuts well,
Yes.
it sands well, but it doesn't have a lot of structure.
Okay.
So it's great for wall molding. It doesn't last being on the road and being run over by 50 cars.
How would you know that?
How would I know? Well, yesterday, as I'm prepping for this set, everything falls out of the back of my truck because the tailgate popped open.
Yes.
On the road, I look back, and it's literally this.
So this is all the behind the scenes you don't see when our experts are setting up these beautiful pieces that look, oh my gosh, he must have done that in 5 minutes. No. The whole DIY fell out of your truck.
Totally. There would have been more than just a guitar on the wall if I had more time, but I had to redo everything yesterday. So the random guitar is just for fun.
Can we give him some love for making it so amazing? And the whole project is on the highway. I think that's awesome that you did that.
I mean, it's just part of the job,
It's
right?
part of the job,
No one was hurt. We're good.
Well, so thank goodness you were able to make this look so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is MDF. What do you have here in terms of comparisons with it?
So since we're here, plywood. Plywood is real wood.
Just hold that up for us so we can see.
It's real wood, but it's glued together in layers.
Okay.
And they're glued together in opposing layers. So the grain goes one way, then the grain goes the other way. And what that does is gives us a really stable product. So in terms of moisture or expansion and contraction, it can't because it's going opposite ways. So it's a great product. It's very strong.
Yeah.
And it is real wood. So we use that for subfloors. The higher grade stuff you'd use for furniture.
Got it.
Melamine gets kind of a bad rap for being cheap. But melamine, it refers to the plastic coating around the board.
Okay.
And what that does for, let's say, in a kitchen is it protects it from moisture.
Yes.
And it's easily wipeable. So there's stuff not getting into the grain, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a great product for what it's used for.
How does the price comparison?
Really cheap.
So all of these are more inexpensive?
Cheap, but can be really expensive. Plywood can be more expensive if you have like a walnut plywood for furniture grade.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have particle board.
Yes.
Which is just, it's similar to MDF where they use like a resin, they press it together.
Is it? Yeah.
And then it's got all of these really thick fibers, and that's often used for subfloor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's what we think of. So you use MDF for your wall. What makes MDF the perfect one to use for this?
So what makes it the perfect, it's so smooth.
It is so smooth.
And when you cut it, you don't have any grain or anything.
Got it.
So it paints really, really well.
Okay.
And then it's really inexpensive, so why not use it, right?
That's
and it's also used from recycled materials, so that's how it's made.
Yes, okay, so it's really good. You're being sort of green when you're using something like
green
MDF.
and cheap.
Green and cheap, just how we like it. Okay, so how do we make it?
It's super simple. I cut all of these into 16-inch widths, and then I cut them into different lengths. And I did it randomly, and the secret here is to do 3 different levels. So we have the wall on one level, then we have the MDF directly on the wall, and then we have another level of plywood in behind, 3/4 of an inch, which bumps it out from the wall, and then it gives you more dimension.
That's how you get that beautiful texture.
And what's cool about bumping it out, and I've done this before on a project where I put lights in behind, a strip light, so then it like glows out the side and just ups the style a little bit.
That is gorgeous. Okay, so you take the pieces, you do the 3 different cuts.
Yeah.
What do we need to know about painting?
Painting. You want to use an MDF primer because it soaks it right up.
Yes.
So if you use a regular primer, it's just you're gonna put on like 10 coats and you're gonna wish you never did my DIY. So the right primer, and then just paint it whatever color you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then that's it?
That's it. You can sand the edges, you can router the edges.
Yes.
It's the simplest thing. Literally just throw it up on the wall and paint it.
And how did you attach it to the wall?
I attached it just by nailing it right in.
Okay.
So I would nail these pieces directly on the wall, and
Yeah.
then if we're bumping it out, we nail these to studs.
Yes.
And then nail the panel onto that.
Okay. All right. So how long would this have taken you, with or without the MDF falling out of the back of the truck?
So this would take about 3 hours.
Okay.
3 hours. I had the wood cut at the hardware store, so it's shortened it for me.
Okay, so well, that's a good point for us. So can you go and get all of your wood cut somewhere else?
Exactly.
Okay,
Of course.
so you go there, you pick
Get
up
it
the
cut.
material
All
you
you're
want, get
doing
it all
is
cut.
nailing it to the wall and painting it.
What a good project.
Yeah, super
So this
easy.
is going to kind of be a weekend project.
Yeah.
How long does the paint take, though, if you've done the right primer?
You should wait 4 to 6 hours for the primer to dry, and then you paint it on top of that.
It's good stuff.
I didn't.
Pretty
But it
good.
worked.
Listen, if you try projects like this on Cityline, we want to know. So put it out on Twitter @Cityline, and you might see your project come up on this show. Brian, thank you for that. Good
Thank you.
project.